Hey everybody, welcome to the Jeff Dodge Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. Yeah! We're back. Oh yeah, we're back. The lovely Rita meter maid you might have witnessed or might not have. But whoa, it sounds like I'm in an echo chamber here or something. There we go, much better. Welcome to the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. I'm your host, Jeff Dodge. With me, the fabulous Mr. Rich Reese on the drums.
Hello.
and Steve Sabila on the bass guitar, as usual. The bass guitar, one of those musician jokes. Bass guitar. I'm very excited today. We have two fabulous guests. We've got Mr. John Malloy is decided to join us, and fabulous man, and also Jeff Anderson, a marvelous man. So we have marvelous and fabulous with us here today, live. But first, I wanted to catch up on news. It's been a busy month, Rich.
That's the darn diddly truth right there.
Well, I didn't want to bring this up, but I thought I saw you at a concert recently.
That's right. We packed everything up and we pointed that direction, southwest.
To
and we went out
the hills.
Yeah, we headed for the hills.
Past the west.
Right, we kept going, and it was actually so far out that...
How far was it?
You would get a different perspective on Mount Hood. I know that probably doesn't sound like much of a punchline, but any geographer worth his salt, that's a pretty meaningful distance when you get a different perspective. Anyways, so we went out there. The good folks from Wilson Phillips.
Wilson Phillips. That's the band that had that... Now, hold on, don't tell me. What was the song?
Hold on, what?
What? Who? Carry on, my love. Was that the song? Carry on away, my wayward friend.
I don't know. It was somebody equally.
Wilson Phillips.
Wilson Phillips. Yeah, no, it was Barracuda.
Barracuda.
Wait.
The Wilson sisters. That's right. The Wilson sisters did Barracuda. Did you get to shake hands or chat with them at all, or?
No, we didn't. There was pretty solid security. I was able to get past them and talk to the sound guys.
Right.
I thought it was really funny because here this woman's name is Carney.
Yes.
Starting it up, and then you got some carnies running things out there. It was really kind of a complete circle. Really completed the deal for me, and we were very pleased with the occasion, and we're back to civilization by 3 o'clock at the latest. So
that sounds like an amazing trip, Rich.
Yeah.
That is wild.
We went straight from there to Mississippi.
Mississippi
district.
Oh, in Portland?
Right.
The Portland one. Okay, yeah.
I don't blow any minds here, but we're pretty sure we saw more people of color at the Wilson Phillips show in Washington County than we saw in the Mississippi district.
What color were they?
Oh, careful there, buddy.
Some are polka dots and some have stripes.
Right.
Who let all this... I forget what that comes from.
Yeah.
But all of this reminds me of our next bit. Let's do another because I said we would, an exciting episode of Conspiracy Corner. Corner. So, Rich, I sent all of us out to study a conspiracy, our favorite conspiracy for this month, because there seems to be one every hour these days. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to come back to me on the it's the flat eclipse that we just had, the
right.
flat Earth eclipse.
That's right.
Now, how does that work?
I didn't really figure it out. So,
How does an eclipse? Is the moon a globe, or is that flat too?
Well, I went back to 1995 via the good folks at YouTube, and I watched some old Simpsons episodes, and I'm pretty sure that it was just the sun blocker going into place.
Okay. I can buy that. One thing is we do know the sun is a globe, an orb.
Are we sure about that?
Well, it circles us all the time.
You're not supposed to really look at it.
I've heard, this old friend of mine, Derek, talked about if you look at the sun, there's some, what are they called? They're like shamans or something. They can stare at it for days at a time,
right.
and it feeds them. They don't need to eat. They don't need to eat.
Is that the truth?
Yeah, it's like a cheap way if you ever like can't afford groceries, just stare at the sun for a couple days.
Does the sun also vaccinate those guys, or does it?
Well, there's a lot of vitamin A, I think, in each dosage. A lot of vitamin A. Steve, how did your research go? I had you down for. Let me see, where was it here? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole conspiracy about was Dawkins CIA or simply a Christian metal band? Did you come up with anything?
Well, I think they just got lucky.
You're telling me George Lynch just got lucky? You know, this takes me back. Steve and I once saw. No, was he Dawkins or was he the other band?
George Lynch is the Dawkins dude.
That's Dawkins.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my bands mixed up. We're talking Stryper, aren't we? Now Stryper was CIA, weren't they?
Maybe so. Bad cocaine and Ferraris.
You know, J. Edgar Hoover, what he had in mind.
They sure hoovered up some of that.
Hoovering up the cocaine.
Yeah.
In the name of J. Edgar. Just like the building's named after him. Did you know that? Isn't that amazing? Our powerful FBI has their headquarters named after J. Edgar Hoover. Proud thing to share. Let's see. Well, my research was on a dude called, I think it was Alex Smith. Some regular name, Alex Smith. He hosts a podcast or something. I think that's his name. Anyway, he was up in Seattle the other day, right? And someone threw coffee right at him in his face, and I was just appalled. But then I started studying the footage, and my conspiracy is that this Alex Smith guy hired an actor to throw coffee in his face. So that's my conspiracy.
He's a pretty solid actor. I mean,
he kind of looks like, is it Potsy, some famous comedian? Was he stand-up? Donnie Most, perhaps, from the Happy Days.
Oh, that's a little.
But this sounds like a good time to. We're going to bring back John Malloy in just a second here. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with Mr. John Malloy.
Real guests.
The Garden Ferret 3000 is the only tool you'll ever need for your garden. It knocks out weeds in seconds. You're left with a beneficial mulch for your garden. Maybe you just want to have a tool you can show off to your fellow gardeners. The best thing is the Garden Ferret 3000's easy cleanup feature. Just hose it off. It's available at these fine stores.
Ladies and gentlemen, star of screen and music and talent, and also TriMet, Mr. John Malloy. Yeah! Oh, yeah! All right.
Is this my microphone?
Sure.
This is the Jim Spag show, right?
I don't think Mr. Spag is with us anymore.
No, I think
unfortunately.
that would be a good conspiracy hour.
Well, he was great with leading a parade. You know.
Yes.
Do you want me to get that for you?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I've had technical experience.
I've heard that. John, why are you here today? Or no, wait, that wasn't my question. It was. I was going to talk about, I thought this would be a good topic of conversation, is father-son relationships. But, because, my situation, I never knew my father, I was, he died when I was very young, and I was separated from my twin sister, and...
I knew your father.
No, that can't be
Luke.
true.
His name was Luke.
Luke Dodge.
Yes.
What a fascinating dude. Was he cool, or I heard you guys like maybe did drugs together or something?
We did eggs together.
Eggs behind it.
Eggs, yes.
Well, now that we know about my father, how about your father or your son? Either or you can talk about, or we could just move along.
You know, my father illustrated a book.
Really? What book?
This is actually a true story.
Sure.
He illustrated the gynecologist that brought me into the world. His name was Leslie Dill.
What?
Leslie Dill.
Leslie Dill.
And my middle name is Leslie. And my father illustrated a book.
Gynecology?
Exactly. He illustrated the book. It was like how to use forceps in 1956.
It's for doctors.
For Dr. Dill, yes.
Was it for women doctors or men
it
doctors?
Was for men
or
doctors,
any...
because they didn't have women doctors back then.
Oh, that's right.
But,
Did women have the right to vote by then? Or
yes, they
57?
had 50. Yeah, they had the right to vote for their doctor.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, it's nice that they could do that now. It appears that none of us can vote for our doctor these days unless you're wealthy.
So that was my that was my father, and my son. My oldest son is technically Prowiscic.
Prowiscic.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a word I just made up.
Excellent. He was actually in a movie I worked with him. We hired him, and he was. We're going to see him a little later tonight when we bring on Mr. Anderson. They shared a scene together.
Very good. I was in a movie that you directed, but it seems like it hasn't been finished yet.
It has not. But I brought a little something with us here. We're going to take a little look at Mr. John Malloy in the forthcoming Trench Digger production in 2018. You can follow us now on imdb.com. The Battle of Savage Hill, coming soon. This is a little rough take we have here. Let's take a look.
Out west here, it's like there's no war at all.
Like the morning light was her love for me when she gladdened my lonely life. And little did I think of this horrible war when she promised to be my...
Hey, Colonel, you understand why I've asked you here, don't you?
We had met to discuss the pending invasion of the New Mexico territory. It was a quick plan to win the war.
It's much more than that, Colonel Smog.
He told me highly classified information.
You know why they made me a general, don't you? Not warrior zeal, which you have plenty of, John Jebediah. We are made into generals because of our innovation. When resources are thin, you innovate.
And there we are. Yes, the Battle of Savage Hill, coming to Trench Digger Productions soon, and a theater near you if you're in Portland, Oregon. So yes, John, what did you think of your character so far in development?
Well, I think I had a little bit of time to develop that character.
Now you're from Virginia originally.
I am from Virginia. I'm from the northern part of Virginia.
What was that like growing up?
That was traumatic.
Why would you say that?
Well, I told you about the book my father illustrated, right?
He was in Virginia when he did that.
Yes. Actually, he was in Washington, D.C. when he did that.
And now, see, again, all leads back to D.C. somehow.
I don't even know how or why.
So the CIA...
I was born in D.C.,
Oh no! Oh, okay. So you're actually a Maryland native.
No.
Or would that be a district
A
of
District
Columbia?
of Columbia. There is no representation. There was no representation in D.C.
So would District of Columbia like just want to slaughter the Maryland guys at football or something? Is that like a
Well,
thing?
Georgetown played basketball.
Uh-huh.
They played.
Patrick Ewing. was
Yes,
from
Patrick
Georgetown.
Ewing was
Yeah.
from Georgetown,
Yeah.
and they slaughtered everybody for a while
Yeah. Yeah, I have vague recollection.
till they got caught.
Well, on that note, we're getting a little bit. We're going to be looking at some music. I'm hoping you could join us on a song. You've brought your lovely guitar. What now? Did you build this yourself?
I built it from not scratch.
From not scratch, but not wood either. Knotted wood.
I stole the. I bought the
I love
parts.
the Frankenstein.
Yes.
Sweet. Can we get a shot of that Frankenstein logo? That kind of says. Now, why the Frankenstein logo?
Because it was.
Is it Frankenstein or is it Boris Karloff?
I think it's actually Fred Munster,
Okay. Okay.
and it was on sale on the internet.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's our answer.
And I had a little too much to drink at 2 a.m, and I clicked buy.
Oh, I've heard of people doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
As a matter of
Weird
fact,
stuff.
every piece on this guitar was purchased exactly that same way.
So this is a kind of in a drunken haze. The pieces came to you.
Yes.
Almost magically.
Over a matter of 3 years.
Wait, okay. So maybe if you weren't so drunk, it would have been 3 weeks or something.
Or if I would have
Maybe
been
even
drunker,
longer.
it would have been faster.
Okay, sure. You some point you hit that diminishing return. And
Yes.
starts over. I had a champagne supernova myself not too long ago that Jamila could fill in. But yeah. Anyway, what kind of musical influences shaped your growing up in Virginia and beyond?
Well, to be honest with you, in Washington, D.C. was considered the bluegrass capital of the world.
No kidding.
And it had a lot to do with the region where it was, and a lot of the national bluegrass bands lived there around that area. And the Seldom Scene played every Thursday night. And when I was a young man and I took guitar lessons, John Duffy from the Seldom Scene was the instrument repairman at this
Okay.
music store I took guitar lessons from.
The
See?
Seldom Seen. Okay.
Yes.
And now, what year would we be talking about with this?
1960 something.
Okay. Okay.
66, 67.
And how did the '60s hit DC? Did they get
Well,
all countercultural or?
They probably did, but I was 10 years old in 1967, so
yeah.
Batman was a lot more important to me than the riots.
Very psychedelic.
Yes.
Mr. West passed away recently.
Yes.
Adam West. I got to meet him. I got to shake his hand. And
But we had a regional show that was very popular. It was called Diver Dan.
Diver Dan.
Diver Dan. You should look him up on the YouTube sometime.
He didn't get arrested or anything.
No, that was Pee Wee Herman.
Okay.
That was later.
All right. We had a version like Ramblin' Rod. So what we
Ramblin' Rod was. He used to come to the Stevenson Bluegrass Festival.
No kidding, really.
Ramblin' Rod was a bluegrass fan, and
I had no idea.
And he came out, and he was one of my. He became a very dear friend once a year.
Really?
We talked.
Now, would he wear the sweater?
No, he wouldn't wear the sweater, and he didn't. He was actually a very well-behaved gentleman.
Good. Well, that's nice to know. I was on the show once. I was about 3 or 5, somewhere in there. I guess I don't remember it, but apparently I had my finger jammed up my nose. The thing I do. Well, I think moving along here, I think we're going to take a quick break. But could we? Would you join us on a song?
I would love
Perhaps lead
to.
us?
I would love to. How about? Do you guys know Sleepwalk?
Sleepwalk. I did by the. This is that.
But Santo and Johnny.
Santo and Johnny. You guys know that one? Yeah. I think we can Google it by the
Okay,
time you.
we can.
Let's take a quick break here, and we shall return with Santo and Johnny's Sleepwalk.
The Garden Ferret 3000 is the only tool you'll ever need for your garden. It knocks out weeds in seconds. You're left with a beneficial mulch for your garden. Maybe you just want to have a tool you can show off to your fellow gardeners. The best thing is the Garden Ferret 3000's easy cleanup feature. Just hose it off. It's available at these fine stores.
After 47 years, it's time to close Dot's Decorative Squash Store. We suffered through a disastrous squash crop this year, which made us realize it was time to hang it up. The good news is everything will be on sale for 25% off. We have very little decorative squash for sure, but we still have books, gardening supplies, and more, all for sale. We're sad to be closing our doors, but as they say in the decorative squash business, all good things must come to an end. Hello, Dot's Decorative Squash. Dottie speaking.
And, we're back. Man,
right.
that was Mr. John Malloy. Do you mind hanging out on the couch with us for a little? That was fabulous work.
Sure.
If you got the time, that's wonderful. Because,
I can't get out of here if I try.
well, neither can I. Because we still have 26 minutes to go, and that's barely enough time for our marvelous special guest, Mr. Geof Anderson. Yeah! Yeah! Thank you. Oh my goodness. It's so good to see you, Geof. It's been a while. We don't get to do this as much as we used to.
True. What's been like 5 days?
I thought it was only a couple, but it could be 5.
5 days sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, so what have you been up to in those past 5 days?
6'1", 6 foot.
Are you 6'1"?
0.5, something like that. Yeah.
That's how are your leaps? Did you ever play basketball?
Terrible. I only get about 3 inches off the ground.
Okay,
yeah.
That's about.
But thank you for asking.
Yeah,
it's a personal question.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to get too personal too fast. I actually had a list of questions here, but
yeah, please hit me.
Well, first of all, I worked with you and John's son Rye on a movie called Jeff Steele and the Children of the Doomed, and it's now available on Amazon. But before we do that, why don't we refresh everyone's memory with a little scene I've prepared.
You have a clip?
I have a clip.
Here's a clip.
This is what the director Clint Sargent and we kind of co-directed it, and we used to refer to this scene as Hair Wars. So let's take a look at that.
Agent Steele, I've always been a long-time admirer of yours.
It's quite a shot you got there, kid.
We've all read about your years in the narcotics squad.
I won't believe everything you've read.
Some of the cadets and I are going out tonight at the poet Farah Josephine's mansion. Rumor has it Dr. Vox is speaking.
Why would you be interested in a guy like Vox?
Agent Steele, I'm sure you're much too busy to visit a book signing ceremony.
You'd be surprised, Stryker.
I'm sure I would.
Oh man, doesn't that
Man, I haven't seen that since I don't think I've ever seen that. That's pretty
2011.
Was it?
Yeah. Our movie came out in 2011. Darge Productions is now they have gone to Trench Digger Productions is now distributing the Darge library in a kind of a controversial acquisition that we made. But we did get it on Amazon, and we actually got our first review, I'm being told. So maybe if we get a little time, we'll read that review together, and we can see what
that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to know. Yeah. Sure.
But how about I seem to remember something about Geof Happens.
Yeah, he does.
Is that all there was to it? I thought there was there a
it's
movement?
Basically, well, there's a couple things. It's an email address.
Oh, that's right.
And which became kind of a name for myself when I was doing things bigger than, So I did roller derby. I was a roller derby announcer.
Right. Now, for the
for Rose City Rollers for a year. Yeah.
What was that like?
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of girls, and you gotta really know how to handle girls.
Did you grow up with sisters? Or?
I had one. Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so
she's great.
that kind of can train you, but it's still a little overwhelming.
Have you ever hung out with a roller derby girl? Let alone 50 of them.
Not more than like 10 minutes.
Yeah, just saying. A year was enough. It was good.
Yeah,
They're great. They're
great people.
Traveled, a little bit. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
Well, I wish my sisters had tried roller derbying. I think they would have been good.
I think that my sister would be good at it.
Yeah?
She's got a little kid now, though, so I don't know if that's really her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. John, you want to say something?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
No, please.
The house I live in is across the street from the house that Raquel Welch pretended to live in when she was in the movie.
The Kenton Club place,
Bomber.
right? Kansas City Bombers. Huh?
Yeah.
And my house was featured in that movie.
Okay, that's the Raquel Welch movie, which was apparently one of Portland's best-made movies. I guess.
One of our top movies in 1971. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Well, they
That's
shot
good
some
news.
of Easy Rider in rural Oregon too. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Did you know that rural is my least favorite word in the entire Webster dictionary? I hate rural.
Well, now perhaps I recall a conversation that you had some rural upbringing, perhaps in Oregon in particular.
Oh.
Did you have some Southern Oregon experience?
Yeah, I got some southern in me. The dirty south.
The dirty South
of Oregon is.
So is there a dirty and a
Medford.
clean South, or is it just?
Well, you know what? I'd have to take that back because technically, I think Ashland is dirtier.
Ashland's dirtier than Medford.
Yeah, as far as those who are compared, but the whole region I would say is the dirty south of Oregon.
Now,
Yeah.
what would you do in Medford for
High
fun?
school? Oh, for fun?
Yeah,
Skateboarding.
aside from high school.
Skateboarding. Yeah.
And was there a lot of concrete, or would you have to dirt it?
It is a town. Yes, fully paved. There was even a mall.
Would the bankers come out and yell at you? You kids, get off our...
It was a safe, closed loop city. It was in a valley. It is currently still there, and it was a very safe place to grow up.
It's off I-5, right?
It's on I-5. It straddles I-5.
Medford. Geof is a wonderful spokesman for Medford. If you ever get the chance to go there, please.
Back and forth all the time.
They let you play on.
I lived on one side, was on high school on the other side, and it was the mall's on the other side.
Yeah.
I was back and forth across I-5. I still am.
Right. Well, except for here, it's like the Rose Garden or Lloyd Center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
there's a river too.
A 3-hour wait to Vancouver or something like that.
Yeah. I try to avoid that.
Yeah. Are you living in Portland then?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
But you didn't live in Portland not too long ago.
I moved to the actual dirty South. Well, not
real dirty. There's dirty South Oregon, and then this South, which was
not Atlanta, because I know that people were thinking that it was going to be Atlanta, Georgia, because that's where Ludacris is from. Okay. No, I was living in New Orleans for 2 years. Yeah, it was great.
Wow, and tendon bar and.
I was they call it a quarter rat.
Quarter rat. Now, what does that do?
You hang out in the French Quarter.
Oh,
there's a lot of rats there too, so it's apropos for the city. But yeah, lived there.
What was the French Quarter like?
Pretty great experience. Changed my whole life.
There's a lot of history there, right?
Yeah, it's a 300-year-old city. The city predates the United States by 80 years, I think, something close to that.
It's the birthplace of jazz.
Birthplace of jazz, yep. Congo Square.
I don't know if anyone else has heard this. I was recently told jazz comes from jasmine perfume. Have you heard this one?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Jasmine perfume,
That's also
which
true.
all the prostitutes wore at the clubs and the brothels, where Scott Joplin was playing.
Call them
jazz
sex workers then.
Sex workers?
Yeah.
Is that what the proper term was in 1893?
Well, no, because
hey, sex worker, come here now.
It was okay to
Come
demean
hither.
them back
What?
then, so you could say things like prostitutes. But
Excuse me, prostitute.
Hey, quick question.
Sure.
If you were in the roller derby biz, did you ever
Yeah.
know a cat named Phil Gentile?
I don't think I met that person.
Okay, he was like a ref. He's a strange
Sure.
person I met earlier this year.
Yeah.
And he refed roller derby.
Yeah.
Something like that. He was
They've all got
mentally
unique
ill.
names.
Also
If
from Southern Oregon.
yeah, if anybody is curious about the roller derby, I don't represent it anymore, but there is some great documentaries on it, and the Rose City Rollers did put one out called Brutal Beauty. About
Brutal Beauty.
Yeah.
Can you buy it or
Mhm.
rent
You
it?
can go online.
iTunes, YouTube.
I think I'm in it for like
really?
30 seconds. Yeah.
Cool. So, did your acting career? Did you do any acting in New Orleans or?
No, I would.
Did you do music?
I did do music.
Okay.
I was a busker. So,
The
are you
busker
familiar
is
with
like,
busking?
That's so
It's
you
not a bad
get
word.
the dishes and wash them, or
Well, you busk after you do the dishes because you've got to have a real job. Busking is where you street perform.
Oh.
And there's a lot of people that street perform in the French Quarter, and I was one of them. I was not one of the well-known. I did it because I could. It was a fun experience. I did as much as I could while I was living down there. I bartended in cocktail bars. I went to all the music venues.
All Saints Day and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Did all the Mardi Gras stuff. Got it in my blood.
Mardi Gras.
And it really, it changed my life in a lot of ways. I got inspired to learn how to play piano, which is basically what I have been doing since I moved back, is just learning piano. Yeah. I got a blues piano book, and I just started teaching myself.
Like, are you reading the music?
I'll tell you, if anybody wants to challenge themselves, pick a book of sheet music and learn how to play all of the songs having never heard them before.
Yeah.
By teaching yourself to read music. It'll take you a while. And then get back to me. I'd like to hear about it.
Well, I was supposed to do that early on, and I was in the jazz band with Steve was actually with me in the Central Catholic High School jazz band way back, and the music teacher, I was asking him to teach me notes in this musical reading thing they talk about, and he got really frustrated. He had all these horn players, and it was like, oh, just look at the chords, fucking figure it out, that kind of thing. And so I just go with the chords, but I've done that where you follow the chords of a song you don't know,
right?
And you construct it into your own kind of thing, and then you hear what it actually sounds like, and you're like, I really botched that up.
Right. It takes a long time to learn how to do that. I'm not talking about the chords, because yes, you can read C major and figure out how to play it, but it's the notation. And I'm not a trained musician, so I didn't go to school for any of that stuff. So sitting there and going through each note one by one and teaching your fingers how to do it without a teacher.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to get through a whole book.
But you're there.
I'm there. I can't play very well, but I can play it.
You can kind of sight read. Huh?
I can sight read.
Wow. Yeah. Magical to me. John, can you sight read or?
I can read.
That's about where I'm at. Yeah.
But
yes, I can't sight read, but I can read and figure it out.
Right, but I'll tell any kids that are watching out there that think that that's an impressive feat to do that. It's kind of a waste of time, because you could do all that I just did in like 6 weeks on YouTube.
Oh.
Just pick a YouTube video and learn.
Right.
You can learn it in like a week.
Right.
Well, that took me 2 years to learn.
That's like too
But
easy.
just saying.
I mean, it's.
My youngest son, he can sight read. He can really sight. He can put a chart in front of him. He can play anything, and he gets paid to do it. So there is a reason to be able to do that.
You hear that, kids? It's
dozens of dollars.
sight reading.
See, dozens of dollars. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, geez, why don't we take a quick little break, and we'll come back and think about something else.
Garden Ferret 3000 is the only tool you'll ever need for your garden. It knocks out weeds in seconds. You're left with a beneficial mulch for your garden. Maybe you just want to have a tool you can show off to your fellow gardeners. The best thing is the Garden Ferret 3000's easy cleanup feature. Just hose it off. It's available at these fine stores.
You know, so the dude like says, you know, you're in the shadows. I'm like, you're not in the shadows. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's why it's a 5 o'clock shadow.
Ah, that's right. Anyway,
That shaved.
Yeah. Oh, we're back. Hi. Thank you, and thanks for watching the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. I'm your host, Jeff Dodge, and we have with us Mr. John Malloy and Mr. Jeff Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us, and I believe this is the first time you guys met.
Earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, you can never meet enough people enough times, I always say. And you catch that crazy old Eclipse thing that was happening here in Oregon?
Is that an Apple product?
The Eclipse?
Oh, I was thinking iClipse. So sorry.
The Eclipse. No, that's I think that's a new nostril device they're working on, but it's USB charged.
I did hear that if you were of the purest race, that you could stare at the sun and it would never make your eyes blind.
Purest brace?
Race.
Race.
Yes, if you were a pure race, you could stare at the sun.
Well, that might be true, except for humans. You know, I don't know if humans can do that, except shaman humans.
So
is what I've heard.
All of the mixed race animals, like the dogs, that were
Well, yeah, it was something that I
like
tried to
beagles,
I tried to like get some people
chihuahuas.
to convince them that they could probably stare at the sun.
Is this a Virginia thing?
Oh,
No, I heard if you were wearing one of those MAGA hats, you could just stare right at it.
MAGA. Yeah, I think I caught our dear leader staring at the sun the other day.
Oh.
So I guess you're right. Humans can do it.
Some humans. Subhumans.
Subhumans.
Yes.
Only subhumans.
But if you're already kind of blind.
Have you ever stared at the sun, Jeff? Like with sunglasses, right?
No.
Okay.
I will be honest, I've never stared at the sun. But there's a song called Staring at the Sun that I really like.
By who?
There's a band called Smile. There's like a 90s rock band, yeah.
I was thinking there's the Doors had a song like that too, didn't they? Staring at the sun, or.
That's a good point. Good.
Well,
it's a good one.
I'll tell you, there's been some confusion here lately, and I'm gonna probably have to say goodnight to everyone because I like to do this little monologue piece about my just a few things here. My relationship with the city is quite tied up with a lot of different. There we are. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't mean to get back into the conspiracy thing, but I think this eclipse is fake. You know, it's Mayor Ted Wheeler, don't stop me, honey. This is very important. It's a they live thing. They're making you buy the glasses. There is no eclipse. Good night, Jeff. What's that you say? I don't think I quite hear you.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely. You never coming round. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to some tears. Every now and then